So this is some news that I've been knowing for quite some time, but I'm gonna let y'all know what it is. The real reason why Terence Crawford and Mike Tyson have been kicking it and hanging out so tough lately, and the involvement Iron Mike Tyson has in the fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. But before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Now, like I said, y'all, I'm breaking this news to y'all because this is some news I've known for quite some time now. Now, we've been seeing Terence Crawford and Mike Tyson kick it real tough since probably around the beginning of this year. They've been kicking it real tough. And I'm going to show y'all footage of them kicking it over this past year. And a lot of people been wondering why all of a sudden Mike Tyson and Terence Crawford have such a close relationship. We even heard Mike Tyson come out and speak on the fight with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, right? And he's saying that Terence Crawford is going to stop Errol Spence within 6 rounds and it's easy work and all of that. And I kept trying to tell people that Mike Tyson has business involvements with Terence Crawford. That's why he's saying that about that fight. And he really don't even watch Errol Spence or know who Errol Spence is like that. But that's beside the fact. Now, in this video, I want to let y'all know what's going on with Mike Tyson and Terence Crawford in the business involvement that Mike Tyson has in the fight, the biggest fight in boxing from the fans' perspective that the fans want to see, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Now, the news is, like I said, I've been knowing this for quite some time. And I got this news months and months ago from somebody very, very close to Terence Crawford. Somebody that actually talks to Terence Crawford personally, right? Now, Mike Tyson has been hanging around Terence Crawford lately a lot. They've been, going out to eat. They was at the UFC event together. Mike Tyson then showed up to Terence Crawford's gym. A lot of things have been going on. And matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a couple videos to show y'all how much they've been hanging out. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to cook on the situation and let y'all know the involvement that Mike Tyson has in this big fight. And Mike Tyson might be a key to making this fight happen. Now, like I said, I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to cook on it.
On the Pino's fight tonight. We got Mike and the crew. What's up, Chad?
What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Big night tonight. Juliana Pena. Let's go.
About to take it down.
Here we go, guys. Let's go.
I voted against Juliana before, and now I'm with her.
Terence?
We got food here. Hey, what's up, man?
You ready?
How are you? I remember.
Who was in Omaha this afternoon? Mike Tyson in town, paying a visit to Terence Crawford's gym. Champ meeting champ. Iron Mike met with Bud for a little bit for taking some pictures with the kids at the gym. Cool experience for the next generation of boxing hopefuls.
Now, as y'all can see right there, that's just a few videos of Terence Crawford and Mike Tyson hanging out over the past few months. Now, the news that I received, like I said, from somebody that was very close to Terence Crawford's camp, somebody that talks to Terence Crawford on a regular basis, and the news that I received is that Mike Tyson is actually a silent investor on Terence Crawford's behalf. So Mike Tyson, he wants to put up money on Terence Crawford's behalf to make this fight happen. He wants to invest in the fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now, we all heard the holdup for this fight happening is money. Terence Crawford is basically, he's asking for more money. Now, I told people a long time ago what the issue was. I said the issue is that Terence Crawford is now saying that there's more investors willing to put up money for the fight. So the pot that's on the table is bigger than it was originally. So Terence Crawford came back to the table and he's demanding more money. So that's what's going on. Now, recently you heard Bernie the boxer, right? And this is why I'm coming out with this info, because I wouldn't have never even said nothing about the info if Bernie, he pretty much already told everybody. He just not going into details like I'm going into details, right? So if you listen to Bernie the Boxer, and for those who don't know who he is, that's Terence Crawford's right-hand man. He said that Terence Crawford gave him leeway to speak on, on how Terence Crawford feels about, the situation that's going on. So that's what Bernie be doing, right? And he talk a whole bunch of other shit on his own. But that's beside the fact. So if you heard Bernie, right, he said that, well, what if Terence Crawford has his own investors willing to put up money on his behalf? What if Terence Crawford has his own investors? And that's just what it is. Mike Tyson, he has shit ton of money now. You can't go to Google and look up his net worth because that ain't real. Mike Tyson has a shit ton of money because he invested in big marijuana corporations and a whole lot of other investments that Mike Tyson did. And he struck gold, basically. So Mike Tyson, he's doing very, very, very well, and he's very wealthy now. And Mike Tyson, I don't know how the relationship came about with him and Terence Crawford, but, somehow they got a good relationship. And Mike Tyson, he's one of the silent investors that's saying that, hey, I'm willing to put up money. I want in on this Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, right? And so that's just what it is. And a lot of people didn't know why Terence Crawford and Mike Tyson was hanging out with each other so tough. They've been hanging out with each other a lot. And you're seeing Mike Tyson pull up to the gym a lot of times, taking pictures. They fly out. They've been meeting each other and all of that. So that's what's going on. They have big business involvement with each other. And, I, myself, it don't matter to me who putting up the money for who. I just want the fight to pop off and take place. PBC and Steven Espinoza, they weren't willing to pay up front the big amount that Terence Crawford has been asking for. So, whatever Terence Crawford got going on, if he got his own investors willing to, put up money on his behalf and they won't in on this, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That man's a free agent. You feel me? He's a free agent. He don't have no promoter. He don't really have no home. So if he have people that's willing to put up money for him, well, that's all good with me. I'm not tripping on it. Just as long as, they get this fight done. But see, the thing is with boxing is these big heads at the top, right? These Steven Espinozas, the head of PBC, the head of Showtime and all that, they want to show who got the biggest nuts. So a lot of times they don't want to let other people in on the pot. They don't want to let other investors in. It's just like these NFL owners, when you got somebody that have a whole lot of money that want to own a team or that want to be a part owner of a team. These NFL owners, they get together and they try to show they nuts and they, block you from owning the team. And, it's just how I go. And the same thing happened in boxing because it's a whole lot of egos in boxing. You got Showtime and PBC or whoever else, and I'm just making examples. They want to say, hey, we put on the biggest event in boxing. We put on this boxing event and all of that. So, a lot of times they don't want to let other, investors in and all of that. But we've heard Mike Tyson on several occasions tell these fighters, oh, you don't need promoter. You don't need no fucking promoter. Come over to the Legends League. Come over with me and I'll show you how to do this and that. Fuck them promoters. Fuck the promoters. You don't need that. And so, yeah, that's what he's telling Terence Crawford. You don't fucking need them, right? We gonna put up the money. We gonna do this and we gonna do that. And so that's just what it is. But like I said, we've heard Steven Espinoza say basically it's a stop. They having a roadblock in to make this fight happen. And it's a lot of issues, but he's still hopeful because both fighters still want to get the fight done. And both fighters are still, talking behind the scenes and all of that. But yeah. So Mike Tyson is trying to be a silent investor on Terence Crawford's behalf. There you got the news. You heard it from me. Let me know what y'all think about this. Drop a comment in the comment section and hit the like button. Y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all.